Well, thanks everyone. We're going to learn a little bit more about some of those today. So this week is all about Martha's food at Martha's Table. And what better way to learn about food is hearing from the infamous Chef Rob. Chef Rob is the lead chef at Martha's Table. Rob leads the children's program and assists with McKenna's Wagon. He's responsible for delicious, healthy food the DC community looks forward to every week. He put together a very entertaining and informative video on how to make fish tacos. Feel free to chat and ask questions during this pre-recorded session. Remember, if you have any questions, use the Q&A, and then of course, to network with each other during the pre-recorded session, use the chat box. We'll drop the recipe in the chat box for you to either follow along today or try it later. And now it's time for the demo. So, knives up, let's get cooking.
Hello, my name is Chef Rob. I am from Martha's Table, and thank you for the opportunity to present to you a fish taco recipe. Let me start by saying I do not own the rights to this recipe, but I do enjoy it very much. So I definitely I'm going to start off by making a marinade for our fish, and I'm using codfish, which is a thick fish, versus maybe some type of tilapia or whiting or something like that. You don't want nothing that is thin. You want it to be a nice thick fish so it can cook properly. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've already have my marinated fish marinating. And it's been marinating for about 15-20 minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you all how to create the marinade. All right, and you always want to start with your mise en place, which means having everything ready, set to go, so you won't have to keep stopping and going back and forth and things like that. I may have to stop maybe here, but hopefully I don't. So right now I already have just a regular bowl. It's just me. It is lunchtime, so I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this for my lunch. I may cut back the recipe a little bit. I'm not sure if the recipe has been shared with you, but if not, I can definitely share the recipe with you, or you can find it on Google, and it's just right there. And this recipe is a little smoky flavor to it, almost like a taco-ish, because it is a taco. So, if my email is rpatterson@marthastable.org, and I'll be glad to share that recipe with you. All right, so we're going to start off with a little bit of olive oil. EVOO is what we like to call it. Right here I have 3 tablespoons of olive oil going into my bowl. Okay. Next is a lime. I've already squeezed the lime, so I have my lime juice right here. And this is just the juice of 1 lime. Whatever lime you have is just fine. All right, into there. And then I have a mixture of spices here. So I started this off with 3 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, a half a teaspoon of cayenne. And if you want more heat, by all means, we're going to add heat down the line, but this is just for the marinade. And I'm going to add that into that mixture. So what I'm going to do with this mixture, since I already have my mixture already, my fish already marinating, I'm going to use this for some fish tacos. I have some fish marinating, some fish thawing out in the refrigerator right now. So I'm going to use this marinade for that. All right, I'm going to show you how it looks. If you can see how dark it is, that's the smokiness. And as you see, I did not add any salt or pepper. I'm going to add that when we get ready to cook it. So this is my marinade for my shrimp later, and I'm just going to push it over to the side. So to go ahead, and I'm going to show you what my fish is looking like. I've already had my fish marinating here, and it looks delicious like that. Again, it's just me. I'm not cooking a lot. I'm going to use an omelet pan. I'm going to go ahead and tilt my camera down a little bit for you so I can show you how to get that done. In my omelet pan, I actually have 2 of them. So I'm going to push that off to the side, let it marinate just for just a few more minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and get started on the slaw. I'm just going to transfer the boards. Wonderful. So right here, we have wonderful red cabbage, or if you want to, I don't know why they call it red and it's purple. You can call it red or purple cabbage. We have some cilantro I've already washed. I have 1 ear of corn. I have 1 jalapeno. We're going to de-seed it. We're going to get the seeds out of there. But if you like more spices, you can keep your seeds in there. All right. And we also have your favorite mayo. I like to use Duke's. My coworker got me put on to Duke's. I also have some oil. The oil is going to be for the fish, so don't worry about that. And right here I have a combination. So this is the juice of 1 lime again, and this is also, I think it's like almost a tablespoon, a little bit under a tablespoon of honey, raw honey I have. So I'm going to go ahead and get this slaw going for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it in half. Looking like that. And I'm going to use thin slices. In the culinary field, we like to call that julienne. I'm just going to use some thin slices and I'm going to rotate it down. I have my bowl here where everything is going to go into. I'm going to try to get it as thin as I possibly can. I'm not working too fast where I'm going to cut myself because I want them thin so I can enjoy it on top of this slaw. And you don't have to do the julienne style. You can definitely dice it up real small pieces. Have whatever's comfortable for you, okay? So don't even worry about all of that. So I'm going to get this ready for this slaw. And you'll forgive my cutting board for sliding because I did forget a step, which means to put a paper towel or a dishcloth or a towel or something under there to prevent your board from sliding. So if your board does slide, be very careful because you don't want to cut yourself. Alright. I'm going to remove this piece, and I really don't want that part right there, okay? Alright. Push to the side. If you all have a trick to teach me on shucking corn, I've had so many. They have not really worked out for me the best. I haven't got there yet. If you have a tip, please show me. All right. So I have a bunch of kale here, and I'm just going to do a good little fine chop. I love the smell of kale. Delicious. So fresh. So fresh. And also, you wouldn't be hearing that all the noise going on with the board. You hear it? But I've already started, so don't worry about that. All right. That's our cilantro. Push that up. And then we're going to go ahead and de-seed our jalapeno. I'm just going to cut the tip of it off like that. And I'm going to split it right down the middle. Alright. And those seeds there, if you want them, you can keep them in there. I don't want to. Alright. So I'm just going to take it in, get them out of there. You can use a spoon. And be very careful. Do not put your hands in your eyes once you remove this. And I'm just going to use a half of one. I'll do a complete half. I'm just going to use about that much. Alright, so we have everything chopped up, and we're going to slice down our corn. Alright. I'm going to try my best not to get the corn all over the place. It's starting not to be all over the place. guess this technique right here may be a good one. All right. Look, I got it all off. Really good. Okay. Probably couldn't see it because it's so bright, and then I got the light, so please forgive me. So, I'm going to go ahead and take the mayo, have your rubber spatula mayo into the bowl. This is a 4 for cup of mayo, by the way. The juice of 1 lime, and this is just a little under a tablespoon of honey. Okay. All right. So we're gonna whisk this. Good whisk. Get it real good. Make sure everything is well incorporated, smooth. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and take your cabbage. I'm eyeballing it because I don't want to overweigh the mayo to the cabbage. And this was a small cabbage, by the way. This was a small cabbage. Grab my little spoon one more time. Give it a good little toss. And don't forget we have to add the corn and items like that. Alright. I'm good to go. I can add more cabbage. Okay. And remember, I did get some of them end pieces in there. I don't want those. Okay. I want to be good. That looks delicious already. As you can see you that? Really good. So, I'm going to go ahead and add some of this corn in there. I'm not going to go heavy with the corn. And it's raw corn, as you can see. Alright, added the corn. I'm going to add a good pinch of the cilantro. Alright. And normally you would dice the jalapeno up a little bit finer and dump it in there, but I made a little thin slices and I'm going to save that for last, okay? I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt, bring a little flavor, and some coarse black pepper. Alright. And this is how it should look. Just like that. I'm going to push that over to the side. Or you can go ahead and wrap it up, put it in the refrigerator, and let it do its thing, marinate together. I'm going to hold on to my extra pieces here. I'm going to come back to that. Take my board over here. And we're going to get ready for we're going to fry the fish up. Not fry, but give it a good sear. And I'm doing it on high. I'm going to let you see it. I'm going to pull my camera down just a little bit so you can see exactly what it's going to look like. Alright. I want to keep a nice clean kitchen. Alright. Back here. Just give you a little bit. If you all can see. Can you see both of my pans? Look at both of my pans. Alright. One is not on, one is on. One is on high heat. And remember we had that vegetable oil. This is what the oil is going to be used for. Alright. And then don't forget your salt and pepper. We're going to add that right about now so we can add the flavor. Once we're done, we're going to add some guacamole. Not guacamole, sorry. We're going to add some avocado, and we're going to add our slaw and a little dollop of daisy. Alright. And then we are done. Alright. Nice hot pan. Just a drop, because remember this already has oil in it. And use a good non-stick pan, or if you're using a griddle or out on the grill, make sure you have something under there so your fish won't break up and things like that. All right. So make sure the pan is nice and hot. I'm going to get me some tongs here. And this is going to let me know. That's what you want. That's what you want right there. And if your fish happen to just break like mine just did, it's okay. You know why it's okay? Because we're going to break the fish up anyway. Alright. So letting it do its thing there. While that's going, we're going to give it about 3 to 5 minutes per side. I'm going to go ahead and get the back eye on. And this is going to be for our tortillas. I'm going to turn that on low because I'm doing 2 other things right now. While that's doing that, we're going to bring our avocado over. So I'm going to let you know I did not go to the store and get avocados. I have some. So I'm really hoping they're going to be okay. I hope they look just fine. I really do. And let me get a pan, a nice plate. To put the fish on when it comes out. And we need a plate for when we get ready to assemble this. Got my little dollop of daisy. That's there. Let's check out these avocados. Fingers crossed. Let me use this knife here. This is my favorite knife. I'm just giving it a good rinse because I did cut the corn on it. Alright. Fingers crossed, you guys. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright. I'm just going to take my finger around it. Just like that. And these are going to be thin slices. I am so excited. Alright. Those look good. I'm going to take a little bit of some lime juice and squeeze it on top of here. And that's just so it can keep it from deoxifying, which is from turning brown. Got some already purchased. Just a dab. Alright. See how fish coming along? Not bad. Let me grab a spatula. Try to keep this intact. And it's okay if it falls apart. It's okay. Just remember, we're going to flake this up on another little plate, okay? While my back eye is good to go, I have some corn tortillas. I did not make them. I purchased them earlier during the week. And I know I cannot eat all of these, so please come and help me eat these, okay? So I would really put them directly on the fire, but I'm just going to go ahead and put them in the non-stick pan. I'm not adding anything to the pan, I'm just putting them right in there. But what I am going to do is add just a tad bit more oil to this pan of my fish. Oh God. Salt and pepper. I forgot. And pepper. Everything is set, ready to rock and roll. As soon as this fish comes off, I'm going to go ahead and flake it up, put it together on the top, on the corn tortilla, which we are allowing to get a little warm and possibly get some little browning on it. Not much, but just a little bit. All right, that's doing its thing. Any kind of mess, we're gonna try to get that together right now. All right, you can see what we're doing. This is our plate for our tacos. Alright. So we got a little brown. Now a little brown. We're going to do 2 of these. In an ungreased pan. Get ready for my lunch. Right. Good. Some of it is starting to fall apart. It's okay, and it's okay, because remember, this is going to be flaked up anyway. All right. I'm done with this fish. I'm going to take it out of this pan. Look at that nice and golden brown. So we have our fish, see how it looks. Mine did fall apart a little bit, and it's okay, it's okay. I'm trying to tell you, it's okay. Right there. Working on the last tortilla. Go ahead and get this assembled. Normally you would let this fish sit for a few minutes before you flake it up. Just because of the video, we're gonna go ahead and just flake it up for you. Using a fork. And let's go ahead and get our tortilla off as well. Good. So we are done with the stove. Just using a fork, just pulling it apart. Just like that. Cool. All you're gonna do is take your fish onto your taco. Just like this. Smells amazing. I shall say it smells amazing. All right. That. Take some of your slaw. That's been sitting and it looks amazing. Onto the taco like that. Just like that. Alright. Looks good. Taking a little bit of those jalapenos that we sliced up. A couple of them. Right across there like that. Right. That looks amazing. I'm going to take a little bit of dollop of daisy. Sorry guys. Give it a good little stir. Sour cream. Just a dollop. And I'm using a fork. Okay. Just like that. Take these these avocados here. Looks amazing. A little bit of the fresh cilantro right on top. And one last thing. Take a little bit of lime and you're going to squeeze it. Right on top. Yes, there you go. Just like that. Bon appetit. Fish tacos with red cabbage slaw, avocados, jalapeno, and a little bit of lime zest, and lime juice at the end. I'm going to go ahead and indulge for you, and I hope you all enjoy it just as well. So good. So good. So much. Thank you so much for your time. That is really good. Excuse me. Thank you so much for your time allowing me to present to you fish tacos. Showing you how easy it is to make. You can do it with your family. You can do it with your friends. You can do it on taco night. Just enjoy it. Again, my name is Chef Rob. I am from Martha's Table. And you all enjoy. Have a wonderful evening.
Well, welcome back. That was amazing. And I am so ready to eat fish tacos now. So thank you, Chef Rob. For those cooking along, I hope you're admiring your cooking skills. And if you have any questions for Chef Rob, his email is in the chat box. Feel free to ask him questions, email him to ask him questions about the recipe, about cooking, really any question you might have as it relates to his role at Martha's Table. I did want to mention today that you can donate $5, $10, or whatever figure to Martha's Table throughout the event tonight. PCMA will match your donation. So if you give $10, Martha's Table will actually give $20. So take a look at the chat box. It will have the link for donating. So we did $400 at the kickoff last week at the pep rally. Love to exceed that today. So if you feel the need to donate, please do so. So without further ado, it wouldn't be PCMA if we didn't have a tasty beverage to go along with those fish tacos. So today we are happy to be partnering with Cheers in a Box and the team at J. Shea Events on learning how to make the perfect margarita. When the meeting industry went virtual, J. Shea Events, a woman-owned and operated event design and strategy firm, created Cheers in a Box. So J. Shea was able to provide their clients with tools for virtual engagement during online meetings and conferences. If you're not familiar with Cheers in a Box concept, it's a blend of virtual engagement and a home delivery service. Today we have Cheers in a Box mixologist Tori with Pratt Standards demoing how to make a margarita. If you're doing this for your members, you could blend the online experience with a box filled of margarita ingredients, a logoed glass that ships to all participating attendees so they can make the cocktail along with the mixologist, keeping in mind this when you are thinking of sponsorship opportunities in the future. Cheers in the Box has a creative team that will work with you and your sponsors on ideas to create an on-screen and fun-filled box experience that fits your brand. So let's give a big PCMA thank you to Cheers in a Box for providing us with a few tips and tricks on how to shake, shake, shake a margarita. Check out the chat for links to Cheers in a Box, Pratt Standards, and the recipe for the margarita. And the video will start shortly.
Hi, I'm Tori, founder of Pratt Standard Cocktail Company. Good afternoon, PCMA and Martha's Table. I'm a big partner of our sponsor, Cheers in a Box, and today I'm going to be showing you how to... Hi, I'm Tori, founder of Pratt Standard Cocktail Company. Good afternoon, PCMA and Martha's Table. I'm a big partner of our sponsor, Cheers in a Box, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a proper margarita. Before we get into that, Cheers in a Box is another female-owned business that emerged from the pandemic, owned by the team at J. Shea Events. Together, we've produced over 50 cocktail-themed events in the past 8 months and made some amazing drinks and shared even more smiles. I'm excited to be joining you as we celebrate Cinco de Mayo and the great work that Martha's Table does for the DC community. Before we jump into salting rims and mixing margaritas, I wanted to remind you of the great work that Martha's Table does to foster a healthy DC community. by providing healthy foods through their food bank, online exercise classes, and family friend programs to help develop our children. You and your family can be part of Martha's Table and give back. You can sign up to be part of PCMA's Month of Martha's Table's in-person events on May 12th and May 25th. You'll be working alongside your colleagues, filling bags with food for the DC community. And your personal giving does not have to end at the end of the month. You can go on their website to sign up for their various volunteer opportunities like Joyful Grocery Bagging, Outfitter Clothing Support, and McKenna's Wagon Helper. What a great thing for you, your family, and your quarantine crew to do. A link to the website is in the chat. Remember to tag #PCMACC. So, are you ready for a little fiesta fun? Let's move on to the margaritas. So I'm going to teach you how to make a proper margarita today. Proper margaritas are really, really simple, and they're great for Cinco de Mayo. So what we're going to be using today is tequila, usually a Blanco tequila. If you like something that's reposado, you can do that too. Some lime. And I'm going to use our grenadine syrup. I'm going to also teach you how to make a proper simple syrup and then what you could use in place of simple syrup. Traditionally, you make this with a triple sec, which is a orange flavored liqueur, something like a Cointreau or a Grand Marnier that's based off of cognac. But we're going to be making a little bit less boozy version today. And so we're going to be using a simple syrup instead. I run this simple syrup company, and I'm going to be using our grenadine, which is made from pomegranate juice. So it basically makes a pomegranate margarita. Before we get into making our cocktail, I'm going to show you guys how to rim a glass, because rimming a glass is a crucial skill. So one of the things that people mess up when they're rimming a glass is they'll take their glass, they'll wet the top here, and then they'll dip it down into the glass, into the salt. And when you do that, you get salt on the inside of the glass as well as the outside of the glass. And what that does is it ends up with a rim that creates a salty cocktail on the inside. And you don't want a salty cocktail on the inside. You really want to be able to taste the salt and choose if you have salt, and then go into the cocktail afterwards, so you get salt and then sweet and sour, and it makes the experience a whole lot more complex. So I'm going to show you how to rim a glass on the outside only. So I'm going to cut a little bit of my lime here, and I'm going to wet the outside rim of the glass only. So I'm going to take my glass and I'm going to paint a semicircle onto the outside of the glass, just on one side, so I can choose to have salt or not have salt. And then I'm going to take that and I'm going to dip it down into the salt. And today I'm using kosher salt. I like using kosher salt because it's less salty than traditional salt. So it actually makes a not too salty version of a, so look, we got a nice little painted edge, but you can choose to have no salt if you want to have no salt. All right, now that your glass is prepped, we're going to set it aside. I'm going to set my salt aside, and now we get to make our cocktail. So grab a cocktail shaker or a mason jar with a tight fitting lid. You do not have to use a specific cocktail shaker, although they do make the experience in the cocktail a little bit better. I'm using a Boston style shaker today, which is a 2-part shaker, which is what most bartenders prefer. All right, one thing I do want to show you guys how to do is how to juice with a fork. So grab a fork and take your lime, and then we're gonna measure out all of our citrus juice today and all of our ingredients. Cocktailing is kind of like baking. It's best if you measure out your ingredients and to the 1/4 ounce. It sounds like it's unnecessary, but it's honestly worth it. For the traditional margarita recipe, what you're gonna do is 1 part lime juice, 1 part of your Cointreau, and 1 part of tequila. It's really, really simple, easy to batch up. For this one, we're gonna go a little bit more in detail and make very specific measurements. So I'm going to stab my citrus fruit here with my fork. So I've got my citrus hat on top of my fork, and then I'm gonna press in on the lime across the tines of the fork. So, and then I'm gonna rock this up and down. And when I do that, the juice doesn't actually shoot out at me, it just shoots out onto the fork and then gets channeled down into a measuring device. If you don't know what your measuring device is in ounces, use a 1/4 cup measure. A 1/4 cup measure is 2 ounces. So that makes things pretty easy. I'm gonna go for 1 ounce of lime juice. If you wanna add some extra flavor, take the spent lime half and drop it into your cocktail shaker. So I'm going for 1 ounce of lime juice. I'm just squeezing it onto the tines of my fork and dropping the spent half. That oil on the outside of the spent half will end up creating extra flavor in your cocktail. All right, so we did 1 ounce of that. And then we're gonna do 1 ounce of our grenadine and add it to your cocktail shaker. And then 1.5 ounces of the tequila of your choice. Entirely up to you what you select. All right, so I didn't add any ice to my cocktail shaker until now. That is one of the most important things, is wait to add ice to your cocktail shaker until the end of the cocktail making process, because you'll end up over diluting your cocktail otherwise. I'm gonna add ice. You're gonna add enough ice to more than cover the ingredients by about twice. You wanna see kind of bald ice on the top. And then I'm going to shake this cocktail. And fair warning, I have a super cute corgi. His name's Apollo. I can't keep him from barking when I shake cocktails, so you're probably gonna hear him barking. Ready, sit, shake. Alrighty. All right, so get your cocktail shaker open. And now we are going to strain into our glass. I'm gonna add some fresh ice to my glass because I like a little bit of ice in my margarita. Like it nice and cold. And I'm straining through my Hawthorne strainer. And the grenadine makes a nice little pink coloring to this cocktail. And there you have it. So you would just do the same thing if you were using a tequila, a Cointreau, and lime juice. Just do equal parts, so do 1.5 ounces of each for a nice big margarita, and you'll have a great time. All right, so as I mentioned, Cheers in a Box is a great partner of ours, and all of the cocktail boxes they sell include our syrups. All of them, usually the ginger, the blackberry mint, we have a bunch of different ones. Each box they send is a custom branded to your organization and includes 3 branding opportunities on a custom stir stick, a custom insert, and the packing tape that goes around the box. The mixology themed events they do are so professionally produced, and we do so much more than a drink demo, so check them out at cheersinabox.com. If you want to just purchase one of our syrups, you can go to our website, which is prattstandard.com. So now you have your fish tacos made, a cold margarita to sip on. Just sit back and enjoy a quick class on what you need to have in your kitchen to be a success. Vicki Johnson is going to live talk about the good old kitchen knife and why it's important to have the right knife for the right job. You'll also learn a little about your pantry and what is a must-have. Thanks all for joining me, and happy month of Martha's Table. Cheers.
Wow, well, welcome back. Cheers to everyone who has a margarita in hand. That was amazing, and I loved her little knife, fork trick with the lime. So thank you, Tori, with Pratt Standards and Cheers in a Box. We're all set for our official Cinco de Mayo kickoff celebration tomorrow. Again, one more plug for PCMA and their matching. So if you're able to donate today, 5, 10, whatever, PCMA will match our donations. So again, see the chat box for ways to donate. All right, we are down to probably our last 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you all for joining. We are going to break into 2 breakouts, 2 smaller groups. So we do have a treat for you. I'm going to provide an overview of each breakout, and then you can decide which one you'd like to move into. You can also switch in between if you'd like to do that as well. The sessions will be recorded, so we'll be able to provide those later, at least we hope. So breakout number 1 is our very own Vicki Johnson. Have you ever been to a store and looked at a bunch of knives and just started wondering, which one do I buy? And what are they, why do we need so many knives? What are they all for? Well, we have Vicki today to share with us for the next 10 minutes, giving us insights on knife selection, as well as how to use each of those knives. Most of you know Vicki as our past Capital Chapter President, and we thank her for her service. She's also the principal of an event management company, Vicki Johnson and Associates, a 15-year organization that consults with corporate, association, and nonprofit organizations on their event strategy, design, and execution. She and her team of experienced professionals have added the virtual world to their toolbox and are always available to answer any questions and help explore options. But enough about work. Vicki's passion is truly in the kitchen. So we're going to go live in a moment with Vicki and start learning about knives. Remember, use the chat box to talk with each other and the Q&A to ask questions. The second breakout is me. Oh, I almost forgot. Here we go. I need to get official here. Kitchen Creations by Ashley is a COVID-born Facebook and Instagram page that really was set up to showcase my low-carb cooking creations, recipes, and tips and tricks in the kitchen. I'm not a chef by trade, but you know, I'm home a lot, and I enjoy spending time in the kitchen, and frankly, I like to push my husband's limits on what he explores in new food creations. So Kitchen Creations by Ashley evolved in January, unexpectedly, to me also becoming a Pampered Chef independent consultant as my little side hustle. While today is solely focused on Cinco de Mayo and making guacamole, I will be utilizing some Pampered Chef products. So if you like what you see, let me know. Otherwise, you'll be able to see them in action, and we'll share the recipe in the chat box as well. So if you are interested in following my Facebook or Instagram page, it is Kitchen Creations by Ashley on Facebook, and kitchen _ creations _ by _ Ashley on Instagram. And the creations is with a K. So the breakouts are now open. We are ready for you. Please go into those, whichever one you wish. They'll run for about 10 minutes, and we'll come back and do a wrap up. So we will see you soon. We winged it. We did a great job. I thought it went smoothly.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's close out, Ashley. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure everybody was back with us. So thanks. Welcome back, Vicki. Thank you so much for showing us the knife skills. A big shout out to Chef Rob, Cheers in a Box, Vicki, and Kitchen Creations by Ashley for your time today. Again, there are 3 more activities this week with Martha's Table, this month with Martha's Table in the month of May. May 12th and the 25th, we have live in-person volunteering. Please sign up. The sign up is in the chat box. Additionally, on May 20th, if you want to participate in a yoga class with Martha's Table virtually, there is a Zoom link for that as well, and that will be posted in the chat. So I also encourage you, if they don't work within your schedule, to check out Martha's Table's website in general. There's so many ways to volunteer and give back, and it's such a great organization. And I also want to give a shout out to all of those within the PCMA Community Service chapter that pulled these events together this month. What a feat. And this is just going to be so amazing and such a great contribution to Martha's Table. So from commons to joyful foods, there's always something to do at Martha's Table. And if you need more information on recipes for your summer cooking, don't forget there's the PCMA cookbook. And I heard the other day, I know they're in the process of being shipped out, but there's over 200 pages. I mean, you could cook for over half a year out of that cookbook. And of course, it's from all of our wonderful hotels, CVB partners, and sponsors, as well as each of you that have contributed to the success of the cookbook. So be sure to order. There's a link in the chat. And I think that wraps us up. So thank you all for participating today. I hope you have had as much fun as I did. I certainly learned a little bit. And for those of you who are Star Wars fans, may the 4th be with you and happy Cinco de Mayo Eve. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks.